Alright guys, so before the video starts, I just want to say that this video was originally supposed to go up sometime in the new year, which I say several times during the video, but I'm not alone in the line of thinking for this video, so I've decided to upload it early. As I say later on, please leave your comments below saying whether you agree, whether you disagree, any thoughts you have, or anything else you'd like to see me discuss about the Hero Colosseum. I will be happy to do any of it. But while you're here, I will plug my Twitch one more time. I'll put the link in on screen. It'll be on screen as you see this. Please go over and check me there. Sometimes I play some Hero Colosseum, but I play all sorts over there. I play with friends. It's usually a blast, so please go and check me out there. I'd appreciate every single follow I've got, and thank you to everybody who has already gone over there and followed me there. It really is truly appreciated. You guys have helped me get to affiliate status already. Literally in a week I hit the 50 I needed after only having about 20 before, so thank you all. I do appreciate that. But anyway, on to the video. I hope you enjoy it, and like I said, leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, Rock and Robo back with another Hero Colosseum video. This time we're going for a discussion one, which I feel will be maybe a few of the ones I do in the near future. But this one, as you can see by the title, it's I don't want to say a doom and gloom one, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while. So if you've not read the title of it, it's about the, in my opinion, bleak future for the Hero Colosseum. So, by all people's reckoning, this was the last DLC we will get for Xenoverse 2, which means it is the last update for Hero Colosseum we will have. And with that, the game will gradually start to die out, for a few reasons. One, new content not being added, obviously, is a big deal. Without that, there's no new figures. Eventually, people get bored of the ones they've got. It's inevitable. And there's only so much that Mugs and me and anybody else like Rubes Cubes, Unleashed, anyone who does anything for the Hero Colosseum in general, there's only so much that we can do to keep the game alive. There's just too many problems in the game which haven't been fixed, and rather than amending old problems, they create new ones. Android 21 being the culmination of this, as she is ridiculously good, and it seems to have become this trend that they did with every update. The first batch were pretty balanced. If you go back and look at them, there was a pretty balanced roster. Yes, you could say, for example, Piccolo was one of the top picks, as was Whis, but apart from that, most of the other URs got a look in. As that's gone on, obviously, yes, there's usually been a few good URs in each update, but there's also been a lot of ones that have been subpar, and then there's been the exceptional ones that have broken the game. The first one guilty of this being Vados. In the second update, second update or the first? No, the first. It was the first batch of figures that were released after the originals. She started the trend, and it's not a trend that ever slowed down. After her, we got Videl in the next update, which broke the game further with her ability to reduce your speed and your defense. It basically made all speed decks have to run her. That was just an extra annoyance in there. Then they go and add Toa in, who just completely threw everything out the window with her ability. And now we've got Android 21 in this update. The closest thing in the last date with this was this Evo Vegeta, but I really don't think he broke the game enough to qualify getting on the list. But the problem is, yes, adding good new figures is good, but it's at the expense of making both older figures unusable and breaking the meta, because there's no balancing. There are no balance changes in this game mode. And I feel like that would have made all the difference if you just had a team doing balance changes. I know it was only a throwaway add-on to Xenoverse 2, but it became such a big, in my opinion, a big following. and they could have done so much more with it. Obviously, as I said, with the last DLC probably being out now, that's the last we'll get of Hero Colosseum, and this is the beginning of the end. Now, you can put a lot of the blame at the feet of the developers for the figures we've been released, as well as the lack of game modes, the lack of content in here. You've got one game mode, and in a gacha game, you've got to have more than that to keep the people. If you had a lot more game modes in this, you would get so much more money. As for me, I've spent my last on this. I'm not spending any more. I spent £25 to get 5,000 TP medals. And despite spending in total 22,000 TP medals, I still did not get one of these Vegetas, one of the new UR Vegetas. I did not get either of the Omega Shenrons, and I didn't get one of the Oobs. From 22,000 TP medals. That is ridiculously, stupidly bullshit odds for loot boxes. Another reason why it'll die out. You have to put a lot of the blame as well, though, at the feet of people who mod, which is becoming more and more prominent, and has made ranked play impossible, because 90% of the time you'll run into a modder. And that's why a long time ago I gave up on ranked mode. I've said it for a long time that ranked mode holds no enjoyment for me, because you either run into modders or people just running the same 2 or 3 decks. That's why player matches is where I go. Yes, you find the odd modder in there, but you'll have fun at games in general. But, like I say, with no new content on the horizon, I don't see this lasting much longer. Kakarot is coming out at the beginning of next year. We don't know what else will be in there. I really don't see a gacha game being in there like Hero Colosseum, but they may surprise me. I doubt it, but it would be nice if they did. But Hero Colosseum will fade out gradually, as it will get no more support. The community will shrink, the better players will leave, simply for the fact that there's so many modders in there now. I don't know, I do worry for this, and not just because it's my main content on the channel, because that, I mean, I suppose that is to a degree some of it. But the majority of it is, I do love this game mode, regardless of all the RNG bullshit I'm submitted to, all of the just bad luck that I've suffered from it. I still love it. I still love it, and I will to the last day I play it, but I don't see it lasting that long. We've been held up by people supporting the game. Either you've got people like Unleashed who've created mods for it, Rubes Cubes who's shown off all the figures, and then myself and Mugs and anyone else who has done videos on the Hero Colosseum itself. But as I said, there's only so long we can hold this up, and when it does eventually cave, it'll be a footnote in the history of Dragon Ball. And it could have been so much more. I don't see a way to change this. There's too much. It's just too broken. The Hero Colosseum is too broken at this point. When it started out, it was a niche little game mode that I think was quite enjoyable. A lot more than now. As time has gone on, that has slowly eroded until it's what it's at now. The original batch of figures, if you go back, what is it, 2 years I think now that we've had Hero Colosseum? If you go back to the beginning, it was so much more fun. And yes, you did see one of the common strats was the double SR Gohan and Big Bang Vegeta. But once you learn to counter that, there wasn't really a meta deck. Yes, everybody pretty much had to run Piccolo because you had no Master HP for a start. But I don't know, I think the game back then was just a lot more interesting. Yes, there weren't as many figures, but as time has gone on, you know, it's actually less. There's actually less figures in a sense, because you can't, against top players using top decks, you cannot go for niche ideas. I've done it. I've shown what happens when you do that. when you try to go with themed decks, it doesn't work because you just can't do that. In general, there's very few themed decks that will ever succeed, and that's a problem. Like I say, it's just this is the beginning of the end for it, I think. I will keep making videos for it as long as there's people interested in it, but I can honestly see it fading out eventually. What will replace it? I don't know. I'm trying to get back into Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission a bit more to potentially in the new year start making videos on that again, because while that didn't get anywhere near as many views as the Hero Colosseum stuff has, I think it was quite enjoyable. The problem with World Hit Mission is you can play like 6 or 7 games and then you've just got to stop because it's the same shit every time. So I don't know. But, yeah, this, it is sad. There are many reasons, like I've said, for this. Blaming it on the developers not giving us a more fleshed out game, and at the feet of the modders, is the two main problems. I think the community, in maybe not in general, but a increasingly large part of the community is the problem with rage quitting because there's no consequences. So yeah, this I didn't really want to make this so soon after the update, don't get me wrong. I was very hyped for the update, and to be honest, I think they did a solid job. There are several figures there that are good. The Oobs are both good, the Marjube, and I'm calling him the Oob because that was before he fused with Boo, so that's Oob to me. But both of the Oobs, the Goku is good. The Super Saiyan 4s seem good. I'd rather have that version of Vegeta, just because he's got a lot more attack. The EX idea was nice. Something that could have saved the entire game, in all honesty. This idea of the EX system could have saved the game. If this came back when we got the third batch of figures, so if this came out when, I believe, was it the Super Saiyan 4s? The Super Saiyan 4 Goku was the next batch? I can't honestly remember, but if it came out after the Vados batch, then maybe it could have changed things. Taking old SRs that are usable and making them really good could have saved it for a little while longer. But yeah, it's sad, as this has been such a large part of my life, really, for over a year now. This game is the reason why I hit 1,000 subs. I won't deny that. It is the sole reason. And it makes me sad that I don't see it lasting much longer. But that is the way it's going to go. And I don't honestly see Xenoverse 3, if there is a Xenoverse 3 in the horizon, I don't see that having this game mode. I don't see Kakarot having it. I just think this will die out, and like I say, just be a footnote in the history of Dragon Ball games. Sad, but I think it is pretty much guaranteed to go down that way. But maybe I'll be wrong. There will always be a cult following. I know that for sure. There will always be adamant fans who will keep the game running. As there are for games that are 20 years older, I see that there will be a small group that will keep this game mode alive until the very end, but en masse, I see a lot of people just fading away gradually. There's nothing we can do. If there's no more content on the future, then there's no reason for people to get into it, especially when you look at some of the shafts that certain figures have had, like Baby here. You know, it just leaves a lot of questions. It is a bit of a... This is a grim one. I'm not sure when this will honestly go up. I'm recording this a week after the update. and it probably won't come out until the new year, since I don't really want to bum people out before Christmas. But this is just what I've been thinking about it. I will be doing a lot more discussion videos. There'll probably be 1 or 2 up before this, discussing some of my top figures, some of the worst figures. I will do a video talking about everything I do to try and fix this game mode. I honestly think if you got a few of the top guys in this game, as well as people like myself, Mugs, if you got us all together, we could honestly make a fully fledged game just on Hero Colosseum. I'm sure we could. But unfortunately it won't get that attention, especially not now that we have a Super Dragon Ball Heroes game. But yeah, like I say, sorry for the rather downer episode this is of Hero Colosseum, but it's something I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this isn't the death knell of the game. Maybe it will carry on, but I don't see it. I've tried. I've tried all I can to keep people interested in this, and I hope that I have helped. Whether I have or not, I don't know, but hopefully I have. Even if I've only convinced a few people, that would be enough for me. But anyway, that's all I really wanted to say on this. I didn't write a script for this because I wanted to speak based on what I was feeling, rather than writing it down and then spending time editing it, perfect everything. I wanted it to be quite a natural discussion on the Hero Colosseum in general. Like I say, discussion vids will be more common in this. So if you've got anything you'd like to hear me talk about in the Hero Colosseum specifically, leave it below, and I will certainly consider it if I haven't done it prior to this. Like I say, this won't be coming out till New Year. I will promise you that now. This will probably be out, I don't know, probably a week after the New Year. But prior to that, I will just put other videos of it. I still got the free battles to play. I've still got all this other stuff. So there is plenty more Hero Colosseum content on the way. And like I say, I will keep playing it until the game itself has died out. And then I will start to panic as I realise my YouTube channel now has no content that anybody likes. If you stayed this far, thank you. Thank you so much for all your support. I know that the Hero Colosseum is the reason why most of you are here, and I appreciate all the support you've given me. The last year has been absolutely balmy. I'm going to say the last year because my main growth started, for me, on the 1st of January, as that's when I hit 200 subs, and we got to October and I'd hit 1,000. That was crazy. Absolutely ludicrous. But I do just appreciate it so much. But thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave any comments you have below. Do you agree with what I've said? Do you disagree? What else would you like me to talk about? Just anything you can think of. But thank you all once again for watching, and I'll see you all next time.